Uh, What's up, y'all? It's your boy Drake41, aka Mr. 4K, aka Drake41, and this is a movie review of 2020's Candyman. I'm here with my boy Mo Chris of Chemtrails Podcast, and we're going to chop it up a little bit about the movie, the trailer, and what we expect from the movie. Now, before this podcast or mini podcast started, I showed off the trailer of the movie, so this video is demonetized. Appreciate it. so Mo Chris, you got to see the trailer. What did you think about it?
Man, I'm excited. Reason why I say I'm excited because I, I I'm back and forth in my head. Am I more excited because I'm seeing Candyman remake,
Uh,
or are we seeing another Jordan Peele production?
See, here's the funny thing. I was looking in on this, and he was saying that it's not a reboot. It's actually a sequel. So basically, what they're doing is they're cutting out Candyman Part Two and Part Three. So this is a continuation. Now, do we do? Should we be doing spoilers in this trailer review? Should we be doing that, or should
You
we
know,
just get to the point?
I don't mind the spoilers because either way it go, Jordan Peele is gonna give us some level of what we didn't expect anyway. So that's why I'm excited. So
Cool. So Um, when they say it's a continuation of the first one, here's the funny thing: in the trailer itself, is a woman from the first Candyman movie. It's the woman who's saying, shh, no, we don't say that name here.
yeah.
That's the one who had the baby in the first one, and I think that the main character, that guy, I forgot what his name is, but I feel like he is that baby grown up now.
Mm.
And Candyman had a plan for him. Well, he kidnapped him when he was a baby to get that white girl to become Bloody Mary or something like that. And I guess now he's after him. But here's what I'm thinking about, because in the trailer,
Yeah.
the voice, it seems like they modified the voice of Candyman. I think that's Tony Todd. Oh man, hold on, what happened here? Remind me later. My phone just tried to give me an update. It's terrible. We're gonna leave that at. But yeah, I feel like that's Tony Todd's voice in there. They just modified it to where we can't tell it's him. But I hope that they use him as Candyman, and then transfer Candyman over to the new actor and continue it from there. I feel like this is going to be his franchise. It's going to be Jordan Peele's like horror franchise, and he's been doing like really good with horror.
Yeah.
But I feel like that this Candyman is going to be the Candyman film that should have been part two, because
And,
part two was trash.
and
It
go back to your question. Yeah, part two was trash, but go back to your question because like I if they use Tony Todd the way you said, I think it would be brilliant because it's not like you using the same old what we all used to, which is not a bad thing.
yeah.
But since it's 2020 and it been so long since the last movie, oh man, if they use them the way that you just described, I think it would be great.
No, it should be, and I'm thinking, because Jordan Peele been doing so well with
Yeah.
these horror films. I mean, for a comedian to really come out and like make these horror films and make them successful and make them good, to where people say, "Yo, these are some good movies." I really feel like he is going to make this movie right. I don't see him really messing up on this. I
Right.
feel like whatever role or whatever position he takes within these movies, and he wrote this, so this is his baby. He's not directing, but he wrote this. So I'm,
Right.
I'm pretty sure he wrote this to a T, to where it makes perfect sense and is going to be entertaining, and it's going to make part one roll right into this one. So this is like Candyman part two, which I'm happy about.
Yeah, and going back to Jordan Peele, like you say, if he written this movie, he don't have to sit in the director chair because he pretty
Hmm.
much have the whole sequence already made out. And
Yeah,
so and I like I said, I've been a Jordan Peele fan since what was his first movie? I mean, since Us, of course, but
we'll get out.
uh and like one thing I had tweeted, I was like, hold up. I think I used to thought Rob Zombie was changing the mode because I'm a huge fan of Devil's Rejects. I
Okay.
thought that was just amazing. And then when Rob Zombie came with uh what was his name? It was called Salem? No, Salem.
Salem?
Remember? Yeah, remember he did a movie about the Salem witch hunt. This
Did?
came
Oh,
out in 2013.
I gotta watch that.
You gotta watch it now. The trailer of that was dope, but the movie was awful. It was so awful.
See, now I don't want to see it.
Oh, it was awful, man. It flopped too in the movie theaters. It flopped
Man.
hard. It flopped hard, and it was like Rob's coming off Devil's Rejects, and he did
Hmm.
the Michael Myers film, and I thought those were great films. I mean,
Yeah.
and so I wasn't trying to make it about Rob Zombie, but when Jordan Peele came in, he changed the horror game, and a lot of people say, well, he just did minor tweaks, like he's using black cast, which you don't
Hmm.
really see in a lot of horror films.
That's true.
He's he's sticking to not the normal script of the same well, the same like white girl. I'm just saying white girl, but you always see the
Yeah.
white girl tripping and falling, and
Mm,
so you don't have a consistency of horror films that you mostly see with Jordan Peele, and I think that's why he's getting the notoriety he's getting because he's basically like, I ain't changed the game too. I just tweaked it a little bit. I'm gonna use some hip hop songs that
yeah.
everybody's familiar with, which is we're getting to that next is how he used Destiny Child in this.
Yeah.
I I think that's genius.
That is. And the one thing that I can say about Jordan Peele is that even with him, I think his thing right now is like thriller and horror. And
Yeah,
I feel like he brings something new to the game simply based off of he's bringing it from the perspective of black people. Because a lot of the times with any of these horror films, you don't see it from our perspective. You
you
always see it
don't.
from a main character who's a white female who's always the survivor at the end.
Oh,
Every
exactly.
and with these films, like even with Us, and even with Get Out, where it was a black family, and they survived for the most part. Now with Us, I guess the spoiler alert, if you haven't seen Us, too bad. Get your life right.
Right.
Um, the bad twin, or the clone, was actually the mother, and the good one was the bad one. But
Yeah.
still, it was a movie where it showed a strong black family who were able to stick together. None of them died, really,
Yeah.
technically. And even with Get Out, where the black guy lives, it brings something new to the table, something that we can appreciate as people, because we have black comedies. We
Yeah.
have these black TV shows like Martin, Fresh Prince of Bel Air, that we can enjoy for generations and generations and
Right.
still watch TV now. But we didn't have like a black horror film that was ours, that we can say, oh, this was a classic. Like we could sit back and watch Friday over and over again. You know what I'm saying? That's one of our movies. And I feel like Jordan Peele really carved a niche with the black horror films to have it be our movies, because we will go out and support, just like we went out and support Black Panther.
And it's crazy what you were saying about like not having that one black horror. I think before we had to always reference Tales from the Hood,
Oh,
Tales from the Crypt,
oh, oh,
uh,
no, oh, no.
Leprechaun.
Uh, you can't do that. Tales from the Hood? No, nah, I can't.
Ah,
Nah, Tales from the Hood is like no. This is like a triple A movie we're talking
yeah,
about. Tales from the Hood, I think it's like a C kind of movie. It's like those underground movies that you kind of know,
yeah,
but
yeah.
or Tales from, even the new Tales from the Hood is trash.
I
Oh,
haven't seen it, but I believe you.
it's bad.
I
It
believe.
had Keith David as, like, I guess the devil, and it's
Mhm.
not. It's really bad. It's really bad.
Yeah, like I said, Jordan Peele is doing great for the culture.
Hmm.
It much needed. I think the timing is right too.
Yeah.
Because like when you see like the Chucky movies, and to me, Chucky movies that got kind of comical, especially the Bride of Chucky
Yeah,
and stuff.
yeah.
And now they with the last movie, they bringing it back to its, you know. But
Listen, that the new Chucky movie, and I guess we're kind of shifting away, but it's
yeah,
fine. We're talking what we talking about, guys. Just like, subscribe. It's fine.
yeah,
Um, the real last Chucky was the Cult of Chucky. That was
yeah,
actually the last Chucky movie. I watched that one. That one is better than this new I Chucky where he's like, it's so dumb. It's so bad. It's
yeah.
not. I don't even know who thought like the studio where they get these ideas and think it's really a good idea when it's really not. It's a
Right,
rehash that just doesn't have the soul of the Chucky. Chucky is a serial killer who trapped
right,
or dropped something who trapped himself inside
right.
a doll. You know what I'm saying? To save his life. And it's like now it's an AI that's evil. Come on now. Somebody has to program the AI to be evil. It can't just make itself evil. Like, that doesn't even make sense. Like
Yeah,
it's so strange that way. But I mean, nonetheless, I mean, people, some people seem to. I didn't. I'm not even gonna waste my time on that movie. Like I feel like with horror films, there has to be one guy, sort of like what Jordan Peele is doing and bringing it back to him, where he says, I have all these ideas for these, for some existing horror films and, some that I'm bringing out of my own mind. And I
gotcha.
plan, and this plan will work, and it shows that it works. I felt like for these other horror franchises like Chucky, or even like Michael Myers, like the Halloween movies, they did it over and it works because there's one person with a goal and a direction. You know what I'm saying? So
Right,
those are, but they got to bring back Freddy Krueger, and it has to be the original actor. It has to for it to work. It has
right.
to be the original actor. At least do voiceover. You know what I'm saying? And, if he doesn't want to get all in the makeup, they got CGI. They could bang out a great CGI Freddy Krueger, or like another movie that deserves to be
Yeah.
remade is First Creepers. The last one
Oh,
that came out,
Jeepers Creepers.
yes, the last one that came out was trash. It was so bad, low budget. It should have been a TV show. How bad it was! It was like a '90s TV show. How bad it was! It was horrible. And
Yeah.
for me, it was so disappointing because part one and part one was the best. Part two fell off a little bit, but it was still entertaining. But part three was just like, man, like you guys like just gave up. Like it's not even important to you
Right.
guys.
Hey, you see the trend here. So hopefully 20 years from now, they don't remake Get Out and be horrible. Cause then we gonna be like, oh my God. You know?
See, yeah, because you know what? It really had you thinking, and it was entertaining, and it was funny parts to the movie. It just wasn't 100% horror. It wasn't 100% thriller. It
Yeah,
had
you didn't know what
short.
to categorize it. Yeah, exactly. You didn't know
I
what
mean,
it was.
thing. Like it wasn't just a horror film that was mindless horror. Like don't get me
Hmm.
wrong, I enjoy horror films. I can have mindless horror all day,
Hmm.
and I enjoy it. But if you can put horror and make me think, like that's a great combination, and that's why I got it downloaded on my computer, and I watch it periodically here and there. Like I'll
Mm.
watch it. Like I just enjoy. Um, I just enjoy his presentation on horror.
Hey, and one thing, another critic, I gotta give Jordan Peele because he came from. I always see him as comedy, with the Key and Peele sketches and stuff like that, and to just cross over to horror and do so well at it,
Mhm.
man. I gotta give him props doing that too as well. So, um,
Actually, Key and Peele were actually from Mad TV, if you remember that.
yeah, from back in the day,
Yeah.
because Living Color went off, and then Mad TV kind of took over, and that was yeah, I remember Mad TV.
Yeah, they were
So
in there. That's why I remember when I first seen them was Mad TV. But this was when it was like dwindling down and it wasn't as good as it used to be. And
yeah, and
but
it
yeah,
needed another little spark.
yeah. But like overall, just with the trailer itself, I really like the fact that they're trying to hide that it's Tony Todd, which we all know it has to be Tony Todd.
It
Tony Todd
has to be him.
is he's Candyman. Like you cannot replace you can replace him in this movie, it's fine. If the guy, takes it over, that's fine. but you have to have him originally in it if it's a sequel. You have to. And I feel like, once again, guys, I put the trailer in the beginning of the video. They modified his voice. Like that's Tony Todd. Like when the guy looked in the mirror of the car when he was walking around, I feel like they
Yeah.
modified his face so you can't tell it's Tony Todd, but it's definitely Tony. Shout out to Tony Todd for being from Hartford, Connecticut, homegrown. But yeah, like I'm going to go see this movie. Like I'm in line Friday, and I don't like going to movie theaters on Friday. I'm going to movie theaters on Friday for real. Like usually I go $5 Tuesdays, nice and cheap. It's not that
Yeah.
crowded. But Friday I got to see it. Like it's going to be packed. It's going to be. It's a Jordan Peele movie. It's going to be packed.
It's going to be packed and so and you know how the people feel about trailers. If the trailer
Mm-hmm.
too good, the movie going to sell. Which I'm kind of like that too as well. And because when Jordan Peele did Ma with I think it was a great use of her, by the way. And eh, you never seen Ma?
No, never seen that.
That came out last year. Ma. It's
I got.
yeah,
I
you
gotta
gotta
check that.
check it out. It's like that horror thriller because she's like basically she's with all these teenagers and she's like getting revenge and stuff on them. You gotta see the movie.
Okay.
Uh, it was it wasn't as good as Get Out or Us,
Mm-hmm.
but they are. It's also different for those two movies too. But
Yeah.
Octavia Spencer is such a good actor. Um, I fell in love with Octavia. Believe it or not, of all movies, I became a fan of her when she did Dinner for Smugs. If you
Mm-hmm.
ever remember Dinner, it's a comedy, Dinner for Smugs, and she's actually in that movie playing like her acting range is so good. I mean,
Yeah.
I didn't see her do it. That's the reason why I'm a fan of her. And Jordan Peele uses her well in this movie too.
Mm-hmm.
So, but when you look at that trailer, you was like, "Oh, Ma gonna be like this," and it came out a little different, but still good movie. And so we just want to make sure that Candyman don't get us all hype where we making videos and stuff about it, and then it
Yeah.
comes out and it turns out mediocre. But with Jordan Peele's track record so far, I don't think it's gonna come out mediocre. I think it's gonna hit box office. I know it's gonna do good. It's not gonna flop. It's gonna do its numbers,
Mm-hmm.
and and I think we're gonna be talking about this come this summer again once the movie drop.
Yeah, the one thing that I would say is for some, and this is just my opinion. I feel like horror films should come out more like in the fall, but I guess they come out earlier in the year so they can release on DVD in the fall, so it's
Right.
fine. I can't wait for this movie to come out on digital release because I'm
Right.
getting like I've been an avid collector of horror films. Like there's on my laptop, I have a plethora of horror films
Uh
that a
oh.
lot of people probably have not seen or don't know about. Like I will collect horror films. Like that's my like drawing and
Mhm.
horror films are like my favorite things. Like so, um, there's so many. Like there's this a good one who probably a lot of people haven't seen is Jerusalem. Oh my
Yeah,
goodness,
I never heard of that one.
such a great movie. Like anything with like biblical, like e- end of the world scenarios and demons and things like. Oh, I enjoy that so much. Like that's such an intriguing genre to use in horror,
Right.
and maybe that's something that we'll see Jordan Peele eventually do, because I think he would be able to do that so well. Like I think when we see Candyman, I feel like that will really
Mhm.
show his range and the different types of horror, because there's different type of horrors within the genre itself. In my mind, watching so
Yeah.
many, like the home entrapment horror, the cabin in the woods type of horror, the in one room horror like the Cube, where you're just in
Yeah.
one spot the whole movie and people die. So I felt like with him, doing a great job on Candyman. This is before we seen it. I feel like
Right.
he could really like dip his toes in the water of like, you know, religious like horror, like demon.
Yeah.
Like I feel like that can definitely be another great challenge for him.
You know you know how you was talking about how you like different types of horrors and stuff. Well, I'm the
Mm-hmm.
same way too. I'm very fascinated with vampire movies.
Mm.
Yeah. So I like to see I like to see all of them, and and it- and I think that will show Jordan Peele range too if he do a good vampire movie. Now, can I recommend you one movie, vampire
Okay.
movie? Because
All right. All right.
uh uh with Spike Lee actually did a vampire movie. It is called The Sweet Blood of Jesus. Have you seen it?
No, I don't think I've seen that.
Okay, you can watch it. They have it on Netflix and they have it on certain free apps and Prime and stuff. So and and it was funny because like you know how we were just talking about how Jordan Peele can go from comedy to here. So with Spike Lee as a artist as he is, because I consider him an artist from a director's chair more than a director.
Yeah.
Him doing a movie like The Sweet Blood of Jesus and the way he did it was different because it's not like a super horror film or whatever,
Mm-hmm.
but I just like it because of the subtleness of it, and it really gets you to think of the vampire different, which is good when a person like me that like vampire movies
Yeah.
because all vampires movies have the same beginning. You know, it was one you don't ever know how old they are. You see what I'm saying? And
Yeah.
so with Spike Lee's take on a vampire movie is different. So I really want to see how would Jordan Peele do a vampire movie? Because
Mm.
vampire movie, you look at like in the past, Interview with the Vampire.
Oh, that's great.
There's some American classics with vampire movies, like I
Yeah.
just mentioned that one. You can go back further with
Well,
Nosferatu when they used to do like the sound films and stuff. So a
mhm.
good vampire movie would make and break you. You know, just like when we saw Aaliyah in Queen of Adam. Queen of Adam wasn't a to me it wasn't a strong good movie. I
Uh,
loved her in it though. I thought she nailed it.
mhm.
uh, I just thought the production would have been different. But far as Anne Rice, uh, doing this book, all her books are amazing.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, basically that's what I want to see. I want to see Jordan Peele do a vampire movie next, and I'm pretty sure he will nail it.
Yeah, I feel like he's really stretching his wings on this
Yeah,
the horror genre, and I feel like within the next couple of years he's going to be up there with like a Francis Ford Coppola or any other
yeah,
director who's well known for horror. Like he'll be the Steven Spielberg of horror. And another thing that I wanted to talk about, real quick because we're not going to keep you guys on here all night. This is it's a review, but we're going to talk. Um, Another thing is where people feel some type of way because Jordan Peele in his movies are casting black leads, and there's not a lot of white
yeah,
characters in these movies, and they say it's reverse racism. Here's the thing: I implore people to look up the definition of racism and then say that Jordan Peele is racist
hmm,
because in Get Out, um, it was one black guy with a whole white family. Like,
yeah,
you know what I'm saying? So first off, his first movie out the gates, you're wrong. Okay, Us, right? There was a black family, yes, but guess who their neighbors was? A white family.
yeah,
Wrong again. You know what I'm saying? Like even in Candyman, there's white people in that movie too. So
right,
let's kill that noise with Jordan Peele is like using reverse racism in his movies. It's like, guys, he's really not. Like if you watch his movies, actually watch them, you couldn't use that argument. It just doesn't make sense. So
yeah.
I mean,
It doesn't make sense. And going along what you said is how would he movie would be any different? You can't make it well. It'll just be like a regular horror film, and usually the type of people that get that type of scrutiny is always the person that didn't get permission. You know, I'm pretty sure when they let him do Get Out, it's like okay, we'll give him the budget. He won't meet numbers or whatever, and it came out to be a hit. And it's like,
like
what the heck?
400% like a gross, or like off of like what was it, like $7 million he made, like a
Right.
hundred something mil. Like what, you know how much of a percentage of the increase based upon like the return on investment that is?
Yeah,
Stop.
yeah.
He's a money machine. He knows what he's doing. And it's like, first off, he's married to a white woman. So it's like, honestly, he's not racist. Like, let's just like stop it. You
Mm-hmm.
know what I'm saying? Like it just, to me, it doesn't make sense when people come out and say, "Oh, well, he's racist because all his movies have black people." Like what? Okay, so what about the thousands of other movies that had just white people in it?
All
Like,
right.
you know what I'm saying? Like, let him cook, let him do his thing. Like, don't sit there and try to downplay his achievements and say, "Oh, the only reason." Like, okay, but white people went to go see the movie. You think they feel offended? Like, no. So like it's not a
Right.
situation where he's racist. It's just a simple situation of he has this idea of what he would like to see in a horror film that he hasn't seen on a normal basis. Let's just take, like, you could watch any other horror film, Chucky,
Mm-hmm.
they're gonna have people in it. Michael Myers only chases his sister, she's white. Freddy Krueger,
Yeah.
like, white teenagers. So it's like, come on, like it's fine. You know what I'm saying? Like let it even out. Like white horror films have had their run over black horror films for a long time. Like Jordan Peele just came out a couple of years ago. Like, let him do his thing. Like, I feel like he's not harming nobody. He's helping the genre of horror. And as a horror fan, I appreciate it.
And also to support your argument, they treat movie theaters as the new form of segregation. Cause even, yeah, yeah, even when I went to go see Joker, you know how many looks like, oh my god, there's a black guy here about to watch Joker. Like, yeah, I'm watching Joker. I'm a fan of Joaquin Phoenix too. Okay, so and so when you look at these movies, like when we did with the Black Panther movie,
Mm-hmm.
they knew that movie was going to make a lot of money. They was promoting that movie a year ahead
Yes.
because they know how to. Was just face it, the whole world knows how to market to black folks. If I could take a marketing class right now, it's gonna be like, okay, you need to market to black folks. Period. And so in the minute where we kind of take on our own marketing strategy and sell to not only uh black people but to everybody, like what Jordan Peele does to his movies, all of a sudden, that's reverse racism and stuff, because why y'all want to keep the movies segregated? And you hear like all the time, you hear films are always trying to sue distribution companies for like people going to buy one ticket and you get another, like, so all these little slick tactics they do is really because the new segregation is in movie theaters. I just want you to pay attention to that next, because that way it won't just be like, oh, Mo Chris says this or he just reaching. No, it's really happening like that. You go to movie theaters, you could already see all the white people gonna line up to see this, all the black people. As soon as you get a movie where everybody's about to watch it, it's a problem.
Yeah, that is true. But you know what? The one thing I will say, just bundling this all together is when this movie comes out, guys, you will enjoy it. I don't feel like there's going to be anything that will prevent this movie from being successful. I feel like Jordan Peele has a great mind for horror films, and he's shown that time and time again. I don't see this as, oh, well, it's over now, the bubble popped. No, I feel like this is just a continuation, because it's not like he's banging out, you know, 12 films, two films a
Yeah,
year, and he's stretching his mind to this place and that place. No, he's taking his time, and
right,
he's making sure that the product that he puts out is of quality. So, when
right.
this comes out, guys, even if you're not horror movie fans, just go to see a great movie.
Mm,
A great, a movie that's, has quality production, that will have great acting, and just something that you can just turn your brain off and enjoy, if anything. So I don't see anything coming out that week that's going to be better, that I will say, oh, I gotta, which one will I see first? No, Candyman will be it. But Yeah, that's basically how I feel about it. I mean, the trailer's great. The actors in it is great, and it's it's a sequel to one of my favorite movies. So I appreciate it.
Yeah, man. Same here. And just to keep it short, man, pretty soon, if Jordan Peele keeps this up, remaking these hip hop songs, making them creepy, he gonna have to
Mhm.
put out his own soundtrack.
Yo, for real, that's the
That
next
would be
right there.
crazy, right?
Royalties out the gate right there early. So
Oh
what?
yeah, oh yeah. I'll be playing. I don't play Destiny Child a lot, but I'll be having that song on repeat.
Yeah, right, for real, man. But yeah, guys. Thank you guys for watching. I will have Mo Chris social media accounts in the link in the description below. Also his SoundCloud on there. He has Kim Trail's podcast. Definitely subscribe to that as well. Thank you guys for watching the video that we did one-on-one wrestling. We'll have more of that coming down the line, and probably if you guys want to see more of these trailer reviews, definitely let us know in the comment section below. But other than that, guys, like, subscribe, comment, and then we'll catch you guys in the next video.
Peace, man. And hey, thank you for having me on.
Thank you, man. All right, we're good. Okay. That was good. That was good.